welcome to tonight's Fireside Hang. My name is Lauren. I lead our developer relations team at the Midnight Foundation, and I am joined tonight by Idris, our developer educator on the DevRel team. And then we also have some really exciting guests tonight with us. We have a full stacked agenda that Idris will take us through in a bit, but on stage with us to my, oh shoot, I always get it wrong when I try to gesture. Joining us, Jan and Jem from Midnight.City. Welcome to Fireside Hang.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having us, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you.
Really, just genuinely, what a treat to have you here. We're going to just kind of dive right into questions and let you do the introduction to Midnight.City instead of me trying to pitch it myself. I have a lot of questions for you this evening, and the chat, please send them our way as well. So excited that all of you are here. Spy, so happy that you're in the audience. Great to see you. Awesome job this week as well in Build Club. But yes, Midnight.City, it's been described as the AI civilization built on privacy in the front page of Midnight Network. And that's obviously a bold claim. You know, Jem, Jan, in your own words, what is it going to feel like for someone, you know, when you walk them through all of this for the first time, when they finally get it, when it clicks, what is Midnight.City? What are they going to understand? What is this? Help me make sense of that for everyone in the audience tonight.
You know, I think life itself is chaotic, and I think Midnight.City in many ways mimics life. And so at first it may feel like there's a lot going on. And obviously, Jan, myself, and the rest of the team have been working very hard to build what we envision as the Midnight.City. And that is based off of, obviously, Charles' vision of building the front page of the Midnight Network. So everything that the Midnight Network can do, the selective disclosure capabilities, the privacy-oriented asset transfer, and, you know, ZK proofs that validate data without showcasing data. All of this is baked into the city. But I'll let Jan comment on that as well.
Yes, it does all the privacy features. It shows you how an economy could work based on those privacy features. But it also, there's a lot of depth to it as well, because you have the scale of a whole city, loads of transactions being generated at the same time, and they are all processed properly. So the whole infrastructure that needs to exist to support the city does actually exist in the background. And I think that's a really cool aspect of the project.
Absolutely. And let's have you introduce yourselves. I wanted to jump right in, but let's backtrack a bit, actually, in fact, because who are you, Jan? Let's say hi to the Midnight Network ecosystem and all of our devs in the community.
Yeah, so my name is Jan Müller, and I'm a solutions architect at I/O. And the part that I played in this project is very small, actually. I put together the work streams that we have, and I try to make sure that everything fits together, the architecture works out in the end, and that the product development process is also followed.
It's a really important role. Please, let's not downplay that. That's crucial.
He's extremely humble. He was actually also representing us in Hong Kong on stage, and very charismatically so. I mean,
he killed it during the keynote. I mean, Charles gets up there in the McDonald's costume, and then up comes the display. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. No, you killed. It was an excellent demo of it all, Jan. I was awesome, and he was at the booth both day. Or no, it was just the second day that you were allowed to do the demo after he debuted it, and yeah, I mean, tirelessly demoed it to everyone who wanted to see it, you know, answered everyone's question. Yeah, I was so impressed.
And we did get a lot of really good feedback, really valuable feedback, good questions on at the booth. So it was really worth it going there.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, and then Jem, next fuse, let's chat. Who are you?
Yes, so you hit the nail on the head. My name is Jem. Some of you may recognize me from Nexifuse. I am a previous public servant, and then currently building a privacy-oriented medical records architecture on top of Midnight, which is really my life's work. And so much of that effort has been channeled into Midnight's tech stack and its core capabilities. So when the Midnight.City was being constructed, I was included in the select few that could help architect the city, not just from a technical standpoint like Jan highlighted, but also from a product standpoint and a logistical standpoint and a gameplay standpoint, because I am an avid gamer as well.
Yeah.
So that is my main role at the Midnight.City. I would say I'm one of its architects, and we're only just getting started. So what you're seeing is just tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it feels so experimental still, right? Like we're just beginning, and I love that. Developers that are watching right now, like you're hitting it at the ground, and we always say that too about this ecosystem in general. Like you're pre-mainnet, you're here helping us shape everything, and this is just another example of that, which I hope everyone here loves just as much as Idris and I do. So yeah. It's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get even further into what Midnight.City it does, can you talk about the problem it was designed to answer? Because, the phrasing we hear often is, can a privacy enhancing blockchain handle real world complexity at scale? Where does that question even come from? That is the root of it, really.
So I'm going to start from a user perspective, and then I'm going to let Jan comment on the throughput perspective, because I think we're trying to break barriers on both fronts here.
Love.
We want to break the barrier of, what does this mean for anybody and everybody that's interested in Midnight? But then I think Jan can dive a little bit deeper into what it really means in terms of scalability and, volume that is possible through this experiment that Lauren, hit the nail on. So from a user perspective, I want to set the background a little bit. We've all seen OpenClaw, ClawBot, MoltBot, and agentic frameworks. We're all witnessing the AI revolution. So without spoiling what we're doing, I want to set the background and what's happening in the world. We're seeing a lot more agentic frameworks, and a few of us have been in crypto for such a long time. It's still very complicated to use, making sure that you get the right transaction on the right chain at the right time to the right person, and that somehow that destination is also secure, is convoluted.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have no privacy. And that is why Charles initiated Midnight. So that is just one avenue that we're trying to break through. We want to give the people, institutions, companies, artists, or whomever the ability to do commerce at scale that feels decentralized but is inherently private, and not just as like an add-on feature, but by design.
Yeah.
So Midnight.City is this beautiful idea concepted on top of the complexities of cryptographic currencies, agentic frameworks, an AI revolution, with a fun game angle to it. And so that is just an oversimplification of it. But what we're able to do in the back end of that is really incredible.
Yeah, it shows how it shows like a utopia, what the world could look like if Midnight, if privacy tech and crypto were really widely adopted and used by everyone. But it also has the technology in the background to back this up and to show, yes, this can actually work. We have the layer 2, we have the layer 1 where it's anchored, and we can process all these transactions. We can register the businesses. Selective disclosure does actually work, and it is useful for in many different contexts that the agents use it. And so it's a real showcase of the technology also.
But talk to me, like, what do we mean when we showcase this? Because like we say privacy gets, we talk about it all the time, right? And it's daily for us, obviously, in the work we're doing. But we're saying that Midnight.City is going to make it visible. Can you describe a moment tangibly in the simulation where a developer is going to look at this and think, oh, okay, that is what makes privacy actually, it's putting it in practice. Like, what will that look like?
Yeah, so for one, when you start with the simulation, when you look at it, you can trace all the different transactions that are generated by the agent. And by default, they're all completely encrypted. But the agents sometimes have tasks to do that require them to unencrypt or to disclose some of the data in those transactions. If they want to open a bank account or something like that, then you need to reveal some of the data in the transactions, and you can actually do that directly in the UI using there are different viewing modes that we have. And one of them is called auditor mode, and that's the one you can use to actually do the selective disclosure part. You click it, and then you can see, okay, now this part is decrypted to me. I'm supposed to see it, so now I can look at it.
I see. Great example. Okay, so when we're thinking about this is a developer audience quite a bit. If developers are watching today, how did they start thinking? We've said that the community is choosing to build, or the vision talks about that the districts will be representing things that the community has chosen to build. Developers watching today, can they start thinking about contributions that they want to or could look like? And is that something in the future? I know that we're not talking about like hard deadlines or anything right now, but like, is that something that they can like start brainstorming and getting in the ground on and just kind of wanting to get excited about?
For sure. I think there's already been a lot of input. As soon as the announcement was made, a lot of the questions started trickling in. Can I do this? Can I do that? Is this possible? So cool. To bring it back to the developer audience and what it means to see the Midnight City simulation in action. So, selective disclosure, ZK, Merkle trees, ZK snarks. Yeah. These are really hard concepts to grasp right off the bat. Yeah. We can explain it theoretically. We can come up with random examples and say, oh, well, you can see the private state and the public state, and then there's a key that manages it, and there's an auditor level. But to see it in action is completely different. So I think as soon as the developers, as Jan mentioned, see the levels of observation and what is secret, what is encrypted, what does encrypted data on the chain look like, and how can I utilize it to my advantage, then they can start thinking about it the right way. And on your point, what is going to be possible is just more integration, because this is running on Midnight's L1. So what's to stop one of the developers from developing a smart contract unique to the Midnight City that they would like integrated into the city? It could be an insurance policy, and now all of a sudden you can have these concepts that are just theories that and tested in a real simulation that runs on Midnight, that is native to Midnight. And like, that's where as a developer, I'm excited, from a Nexifuse angle. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, how can I protect the agent's private data? Because like some of these are like memories and transactions and, core events that happen in their life. Like, what if I wanted to keep that extremely private, on and off chain? Yeah. And so that's what we're hoping this will do for a lot of developers, so that they can make requests for integration.
Okay, I understand now. Okay, everyone in the chat is asking for, can we share a screen, see something? Can we get a demo of some kind? Can we see something? Are we down to show, the homepage, the website? We have been showing the QR code to Midnight.City. That is where we want folks to. What's this call to action? If someone is watching right now and wants to be a part of what Midnight City becomes, like, what's the single most important thing that they should do today, right now? They're watching, like, what's that?
So definitely sign up on Midnight.City to be part of the communication link. Okay. And then on the Discord chat, if you're not already, I'm assuming you're on the Discord, but if you're not in the Discord chat, definitely join the Midnight City chat. Yeah. I'm in there most of the time. Josh is in there. We can also invite Jan in there. So if there are questions, we're very accessible. I don't want to ruin any surprises. Our launch is, less than a day away.
So soon.
The team would kill me if I showed anything.
Okay,
here.
I just thought, like, can I convince you? I get it. No, I get it.
I appreciate you trying.
Right? Like, I might be a bad host if I didn't. What's one thing about Midnight City that you think is going to surprise people, or once they actually experience it themselves, that you're like so excited for people to kind of get a hold of, that you just can't wait for kind of everything to get going?
I'll say one thing and then I'll leave it to Jan, because I think for me as a gamer, like, I love civilization games. So I love being able to visualize a city and look over it and see what's going on. And I think
from a zoom out kind of
zoom out, what's going on, what's happening in the city. And I think right off the bat, you're going to get to experience that feeling. Yeah. And that's the one for me. So Jan, what do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of lore to discover as well. That's one of the things I really like about it. We have all these different districts in there. The crystals that they mine, there are mysteries, and you can really piece those mysteries together if you look at what the agents are thinking, what they're talking. I think that's a really, really cool part of the project.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we're congrats, though, right? Like, I should also say that because we're a day away from something that's been a really long time in the making. And what does it feel like for you personally to see this go live?
Great question. I feel like it's not like delivering a car. Once you deliver the car,
Right.
the person who bought it gets to drive off into the
Go.
sunset with it. I
Yeah.
think this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we haven't really gotten out of that. Oh my God, this is almost done. Matter of fact, it's like this is just beginning. Is I think what I'm feeling.
Yeah, we've been working really hard on this. We've reached like an initial stage where we can say, okay, we can start looking at this now. It's great, and it's going to grow so much in the next few months.
Are either of you parents? Yeah, this is kind of like a parent. This is kind of like having a baby because like it's the hard part's just beginning because like you've hit the milestone of it and now you're creating this thing and now all the upgrades are going to be coming. Like all the work is really beginning. Like it's now we get this out there into the world. And now the joys of like, okay, now what all the features are going to be coming. Now all the fun, the chaos, the experiments, as we were saying, just get to come rolling in. And I think the exciting thing is that there's going to the pressure of the rapid release is we're really excited that it's going to be coming quickly and everyone gets to participate in this journey from static to active as all of this rolls out in rapid rolling time. So it's a joy, but also the pressure, I can imagine is, it's a mixture of it all, I imagine. Yeah. Bravo.
Yes, it's a new way of doing things for us, but it's really,
sure.
It's really cool to see the results that it's shown.
For sure. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Did hit the simulation in there? Oh yeah, right. Because Joan is acknowledging your connection to the medical industry. There's probably some pieces there that we can borrow from Nexifuse that we can certainly. There's so many different situations that we can take from real life into a world, a utopia that we can then apply privacy to.
That's a great point, Jonah. And the thing is, with AI and agentic frameworks nowadays, we're becoming more and more conscious and aware of our sensitive information, which is really the win behind Midnight's sale in many ways. We want more privacy. We want that dignity of being able to protect our own personal information. So in many ways, like the private information of these agents are a heap of data. I mean, they're not humans yet. And I don't want to stray into that dystopic line of thinking where these could be considered as humans. But in many ways, if we can protect an agent's heap of records, then we could do it in the real world, which is what we have been doing with Nexifuse Health. So a lot of this work is taking place in the real world in conjunction to the simulation.
Yeah.
It's
really wild. Exciting. It's really wild. It's so really great exciting. Too. I mean, Nexifuse is one of my favorite use cases that I speak about daily with developers when I speak about Midnight and give examples even to Web 2 developers of trying to explain like why this makes sense to any developer and helping them make sense, narrate to the Midnight value prop in general. So I just appreciate that now we get to be putting it in this simulation of a world. I love it. This is going to be a whole new frontier for Midnight, and what a journey we all get to be on. So
I think so, and we'll get to incorporate a lot more exciting projects that are on top of Midnight. Nexifuse is there because of proximity and because of the application making sense. But there's, as I said, there's insurance policies and there is games. Like there's so many things that could happen in the simulation that leverages the great work that the community is already putting out on a daily basis. So this isn't an isolated experience. To go back to your earlier point, the community will get to dictate the future of this simulation.
That's a great point. It's Idris and I think from that like community organizing perspective so much, right? So it's like, how do we get our developer, our ecosystem involved, right? We have a gaming bounty coming up soon. And so it's like, oh, let's get the games in there. Let's get our games participate. I love that idea. And yeah, I think that feels the way just for them to be participatory in it feels even more opportunity for just it to grow organically, right? That feels that natural evolution of it. I think, yeah, it makes sense. I think I can buy in. I'm not really a gamer myself. So at first I think, I don't know. I don't think it didn't make sense to me at first. And so I thought, oh, this isn't really going to be for me. But then if I can buy into community engagement. And so that's when my eyes are going to light up. And I'm going to be like, oh, governance, like, yeah, let me be a part of that. So I think there really is something for everyone. And I love that. Like that feels, yeah, it unlocks so much.
Yeah, it's very different from a traditional game. There's interactivity and there are rewards for the interactivity, but it works on a different level. You observe, it's the aquarium that you look into, but you still get a lot out of interacting with it, being a part of the community.
Right. Yeah. And anyone in the AI space that's like really in that geeking out there is going to really thrive and obsess there. Like we just kind of are hitting every niche right now. So it's, yeah, I love it. Yeah. Idris, I'm sorry. Do you have any questions? I don't want you to take over.
No, like I'm just like, acknowledging like some of this conversation we're having, particularly considering that the community, we have like the gamers ecosystem, we have those that are interested, we have the bounty coming up,
right.
There are so many things coming up for like the gaming ecosystem. And I feel like this is a very interesting opportunity. Yeah, very interesting opportunity.
One thing that I can say, Lauren, without spoiling too much, because it was revealed by Charles on, I'm going to give hints and we'll see if I spoil anything.
Do it.
So Charles mentioned, the next engagement or next major upgrade to the simulation is being able to spawn your own agent into the game.
Right.
And what that means could really mean a variety of things, right? It's like you may not be a gamer and you don't need to go in there and micromanage your agent, but I mean, you are a mother, and so
I like the idea of having like a little
something, right?
Is it like a little me? Is it Lauren? Like, oh, but it can, but I don't have to dox myself either, right? Like that's the whole. It could be
anyone you want. You could have several.
Exactly.
Group,
yeah.
It could be a group.
Oh, love. That's cool. Yeah, I think there's something really. No, I live in the open. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be little Lolo out there.
I think we're all interested in having little versions of ourselves in there. But yeah, there would be some aliases and pseudonyms as well.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because we also have been talking all about like Midnight is also for the vices, right. So we need that too. So
it's true.
How it will be civilized, laws, yes. I think
there will be laws. Yeah, there will be laws and there will be governance. But if the agents dictate they want to lead a certain lifestyle, then it'll be very hard for us to stop them from doing so.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It is an autonomous civilization after all, but we will do our best to monitor it, of course.
Right. Yeah. It's all, there's so many questions still, but I can't wait.
There's a lot of questions. And a part of the fun is, this isn't just a static game that we're building. Conventionally game makers are beautiful storytellers. And that's what the game is. It's an unfolding of a storyline. Mm-hmm. In this case, we are more like engineers than storytellers. We are building the infrastructure upon which this infinite, unpredictable simulation environment can occur. Mm-hmm. So, Jan and I aren't going in there saying, oh my God, you have to act this way and you got to be this way. And then this happens in the game. We're not gods of that world. So everyone has a participation route. And that's what I think can lead to the spatial mapping that the governance requires and the community engagement requires. But who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Huh. It's kind of terrifying too.
It is a little bit terrifying. But...
I don't know why that makes me. I mean, it can go so many ways.
It can go so many ways. Yeah.
And I came into Web3 naive, and it was really drilled into me in my like early blockchain academy of like assume the worst intent of just that. And that was really way darker for me than I was an English teacher before I learned to code, and it was not like my world philosophy. And so I think it makes me nervous that like, I just hope that our utopia doesn't turn to a dystopia also too. So that's, yeah, I don't know. Well, I
But
guess
it's up to us.
With Midnight City, you're one level removed from.
Right, it's not. We're not in it.
So it's not you. It's the agents.
It's the agent.
Yeah. So I think it's also a good way to get exposure to crypto in general.
Sure. Yeah. To learn about those things, those concepts. Also, like,
And the thing is, you can be the change you want to see in this world,
Sure.
just like the real world is. So if you're seeing a lot of the bad components of the simulation, you can spawn more altruistic, more heroic, more guardian type characters to the simulation, which is what excites me the most, actually.
There you go. There you go. So there we are. Wonderful. All right. So this has been an excellent segment. I feel really stoked about the front page of the network. This feels, I can't wait for the launch, and everybody, we will see it very soon. So Jan, thank you for joining us on the Fireside Hang today. This has been such a treat. We feel very appreciative of your time. We know how busy you are, and so thank you for giving us this time. It was such a gift.
Thank you. I really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Cheers.
you guys. Yeah. Bye. Thank you. Really appreciate you. And just to like continue, that's not all, guys. We have a lot more for you guys. I think we have things to talk through. We have contributors shout out. We also have the Ecosystem Readiness Survey insights. And then we have the docs updates walkthrough by David. David, are you there? Yes. Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to
All
be
right. All right. So just not to waste anyone's time, we'll be having a few things to showcase. First, I want to talk about the contributors hub. I want to give a big shout out to the ecosystem. Big shout out to all the contributors. I think my screen, I don't know if you can see my screen. Yes, I wanted to showcase something and kind of emphasize on the progress we've made so far and how much we value everyone's contributions, and also how we want more. We want more because there's more coming, right, from the ecosystem, and then we can't wait to share with you all. As you can see on my screen, I have the contributors board, and I've kind of filtered by the bounty programs, the ones that we have bounty. And if you notice, we have some with no status, because some of these bounty would be republicized for the second round. So you guys should expect the second round as soon as possible. I think the second round will also be even bigger and bigger than what it is right now. We've done a lot of learnings. We've learned a lot from feedback that you all have given, from the experience, from the delays that we've seen, from also like genuine feedback from contributors on what the experience, what they expect the experience to look like, or what they are kind of looking out for, right? So, and we've had like a couple of them already completed. As you can see, I have the in progress status. Like we have some still currently being worked on, and we are trying. Look, I think this is also merged already. And then we are trying as much as possible to make sure that we can close out as soon as possible. And then if you look at the done tab, we have a big shout out to, let me be sure I'm pronouncing his name very well. Yeah, so big shout out to Tosin Web Dev. Thank you for your contribution. I see we have merged this contribution already to production. We really appreciate the effort. And also we have Banana Boy for contributing another content, a full documentation on how to set up compact development environment on Windows. Windows have been like major hurdle for some of our developers and some of the feedback that we've gotten, and this is now available to help you if you check the docs directly. And then big shout out to Eric, big shout out to Guto Pro. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that name correctly. Thanks for also providing the NixOS rather installation process and also the guide that everyone needs to know about. And also big shout out to Sergey for helping to migrate the Bboard DApp to pre-pod, because it was preview when the task was created, but we also end up migrating to pre-pod. Thank you so much for helping with that. And then we also have a few that was rejected. We appreciate everyone's effort, but would also, when we roll out the second round, we would clearly state everything that is needed and how you can make sure that your contribution or during the process of contributing, your submission do not get rejected. And by the way, just to give you a heads up, the new round that we are launching is not going to be first come, first serve. It's going to be open up to every contributors that wants to contribute, right? So you guys should wait and look out for that. So you can scan this QR code. It's going to take you to this page if you are still interested. And also, like, just find a way I think there's a way to turn on notification here on this particular board so that you know when a new item is created or something like that. But if you don't have that, don't worry. When we launch the new program, we'll share across all the socials and everywhere else, right? So then we have, aside the bounty, there's also one thing I want to talk about before I pass the mic to David. We have the Ecosystem Readiness Survey insights, and then you will see the QR code on the screen as soon as possible. Yes, this is the QR code. Please do it to scan. So what this survey is all about is to let us know what you are building, and not just that, so that we can support you as we prepare for mainnet launch. We can give you the right funding that you need, the right support that you need, the partners that you need as you are building your project. And also along the line of building your project, if you have a need for DOS to text transaction, you don't have to wait. You don't have to get night tests for set and then wait for DOS generation before you can test. We'll be happy to like send you DOS to your account, or like find a way to make that process easy for you. And also, we also need this data just to understand where you are and how we can support you on the ground level as we prepare for mainnet. So this is very, very important. Please do well to scan and fill in so that we can follow up with updates, and we can follow up to make sure that you are not left alone during the process of building, and also you get all of the information that you need in the process. And at the same time, most importantly, the funding, the grant opportunity, and all of those things, we make sure we can keep track of it, right? So do well to scan this QR code, fill now or fill later. It is very, very important, and then we'll be bringing it up again over time, but do well to scan now and make sure you fill it. So on to the next one. The next one here is docs update walkthrough with David. We've been doing a lot of improvement lately: rewrite, reorganization, docs overhaul, trying to make good use of the feedback that we've heard so far from the developer ecosystem, and then improving on what we currently have. So he is going to kind of talk through where we are right now, the progress, and then some of the exciting things to expect next going forward. So David, over to you.
Thank you, Idris. Hi, everyone. I'm David with the documentation team. I'm excited to share some of the updates we've been working on. So I'll try to share my screen real quick so we can see.
Okay.
Yep. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, you can You can see it now.
So on the documentation side, before now, there were a lot of feedback we were getting, like tutorials were not working correctly. So overall structure needed an overhaul. So we took the feedback we got along with some of the research we did and tabled that into the documentation, like restructuring the entire documentation. So we wanted to like come up with a compact, pun intended, a compact documentation that doesn't overwhelm developers, such that when you access the documentation site, you get access to the information you need to start building. So some of the changes we made was moving the API reference to the top navigation bar. So you can access the API reference tab and see all the APIs and the updated documentation for you to implement all your code. We've also separated some of the SDKs into a separate tab that we can leverage on. So this is still a work in progress, but over time we'll still be updating it. So the whole idea is to have like the SDK separate from API reference so that you get access to the information you need when and you don't get lost into the like trying to dig out information. So on the main documentation side, we've cut down the documentation and updated it. The most important update was like updating the documentation to match the current environment that we are building on, which is the pre-prod and preview environment. So currently we've updated the getting started guide. All the installation steps now match the current the most stable environments. Or the getting started, I would like to go through. So like the Hello World example now shows you how to get started, like writing your first contract on Midnight, like a simple Hello World example. So once you are done with that, we also link you to the steps for deploying your contract and also like interacting with it. So aside from that, after learning about like building on Midnight, we have some example apps that you can explore to see how they work. These are examples from the awesome dApps. So we've updated them and also added the updated tutorials to the docs. So you can go through some of the examples and see what is possible. Then after exploring the examples, you would see links to relevant tutorials on what's next to build. So for some developers, they may want to explore the GitHub repository, or you may want to learn how to build a counter smart contract from scratch. So this guides you through the next steps in your journey. So taking it down the notch, you'll be taken to the tutorial section where you get to see how the idea behind the counter, each of the parameters, and also like how, and also links to building the CLI for the so we are adding some more advanced tutorial. If you can see from the docs tab, we have advanced tutorial tab, but we've not updated the contents yet. Those are still a work in progress, and those will be updated. So overall, we've like tried to update all the tutorials like to match the current working environment. And under the hood, we're also working on some improvements that would help make it easy for both users and AI models to access the documentation site. One of the updates we are rolling out is automatic generation of LLMs.txt file. So you can, if you are using an AI model to query details about Midnight documentation, it would always feed you with the most up-to-date information about the Midnight documentation. So you're not getting wrong details when you are querying using your AI model. So that's some of the updates we are rolling out. And then aside from that, we are also going to like roll out some improvements to the workflow, contributing workflow, such like by introducing grammar checks using some docs as code workflow field check, so that if you are contributing documentation, like for the bounty program that a next batch is coming, those will be included as part of the criteria, so that you know how to like self-review your documentation before pushing it. That would reduce the lot of back and forth in terms of getting the content up to
Yeah.
standard. So those are some of the things to look out for. So overall, we are super excited with the progress we've made, and we are always looking forward to feedback. So if you test the docs and if anything is not working, please be sure to either open an issue or reach out to us, and we'll be sure to work on those changes.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much for that. The docs is 100% open source, so feel free to create an issue, send a PR for contribution as we continue to like work on it. And it's important to know that whatever we are doing to improve the existing system, we are also always thinking about new strategy, like how to simplify the experience. We update how some of the packages that we have, how do you find them easily? How do you also have a good user experience during this process? So not just user experience, but developer experience when you are building with Midnight. Midnight works really well. Midnight documentation works really well with the LLM right now. So you can easily query it. If you're using Midnight MCP2, make use of Midnight MCP. It does query the the docs itself also for you to get updated information, right? So please feel free to open issue and we'll be happy to take a look at it and then make sure we fix it. Someone says that the QRC page not found. I don't know what the QRC page means. Like, I don't know the page title QRC. Do you have an idea of that, David?
I don't know. Probably do they mean the RPC page?
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Okay, yeah, maybe a link. Yeah, please do share a link on the Discord later. Let us know which broken links that we have. And by the way, we are also like actively fixing any broken link and redirection. So in case you catch any or you find any, please do well to share with us. And some pages are also relegated, right, in this new flow, right, that is not needed. So please, in case you still find them and probably they are not redirecting where they are supposed to redirect to, please let us know. We'll make sure we fix it faster. So okay, I think he said the KLC page is now working. He said it is fixed. All right, good. That's fine. Thank you so much for the feedback. Crypto, I think that's Spike Crypto, right? um Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so without, if there's no any other question, I think we are good to go and right on track and right on time, right? So thank you so much. Thank you, David. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Jeff, everyone that joined from the Midnight.City ecosystem. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for staying tuned to the end. Also, we really appreciate you guys. We see you again next week. Keep building, keep contributing. Thank you. Bye, everyone.